So the Brisbane Lightning are inactive next weekend, Doogie, aren't they? Tell us, what are the matchups?
Yep. So week 6 will roll around, and then we'll obviously have a Christmas break, Christmas New Year break, and we have the Perth Inferno. They will travel to Adelaide, play back to back against the Adelaide Rush, and the Sydney Sirens will travel to Melbourne, and they'll play back to back against the Melbourne Ice. What are you seeing from these matchups, Gordon? We'll start with Perth and the Adelaide Rush first. They're the first game to be played. This could potentially be some of the best games we are going to see this season. The Adelaide Rush on home ice, they play that rink so well, and the way they work hard in their forecheck, this potentially, and the goaltenders for both teams as well coming up against each other, these two games could be off the charts.
So this one is the series of the week for me, Perth Adelaide. And the reason why, so two very kind of different approaches to offense. I think Perth, they generate a lot through a few players, and whereas Adelaide generates a little bit from everybody. So the Adelaide Rush, I think they have 13 different goal scorers on their team. The next closest team to that number is there's a couple of teams tied at 9. I think Perth Inferno were 7 before this weekend. So 7 players scored all the Perth Inferno goals before this weekend. 13 players were scoring goals for Adelaide. So that tells me that Adelaide, like, they do things by committee. They work hard. We've talked about this a lot. They're really hard on the forecheck. And Maya Tupper and Kirsty Venus are a hell of a lot of fun to watch. And plus, you've got two really good goaltenders. Amelia Knott hasn't lost a game yet so far in the AWIHL, and Archie Smith has been great. So, going up against Sasha King on the other side, who is in the form of her life right now, this could be a fantastic contest.
Yeah, well, we seen Saturday Maya v King. It could be another one. It could be either King. I'm guessing King starts on the Saturday. King v Smith v Knott. Like, it's just that battle between the pipes at either end. It could be the difference, honestly, of where the result goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Goaltending is so important in the AWIHL, but I think as well that the way that the teams are structured will be interesting. Hopefully, each team is able to field a full strength team. We'll see what happens.
Yep, and the Inferno will be crossing their fingers that Isla Malcolm will return for this series. Very important player. The other matchup is the Sirens, obviously travelling down south to Melbourne to face the Ice. It's been tough going for the Sirens this season. They did play some exhibition games or friendly matches, whatever you want to call them, down in Melbourne against the Melbourne Ducks, who are looking to enter the league at some stage. You wrote about that with head coach Jeremy Muir during the week. Gordon, what are you seeing from this contest? I like the fact that the Ice have had a break, and we know the quality that the Ice have got. But I did like the fact that with the Sirens against the Ducks, there was a few names on the score sheet, like Hannah Crine. Maybe a game like that against the Ducks can get Hannah Crine firing, because she's doing everything else really well. And we did speak about that, and you spoke to Gabe Robledo about Hannah Crine, and it's not getting on the statistics with goals and at the moment, but maybe this could, kickstart the goals for Hannah Crine.
Yeah, I think the Sydney Sirens are going to be sick of seeing Shana Godfrey on the other team. Shana Godfrey scored a few goals for the Ducks, including the game winner on Sunday as the Ducks beat the Sirens 2-1. That'll be an intriguing little matchup. I mean, it's hard to see the Sirens taking points away from Melbourne in Melbourne. But, I think Coach Robledo would be excited to see some growth from the team. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, and anything can happen, obviously, and the Sirens have been close in games with the Rush. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We've got some love for the Ducks in the chat, so I've got to bring this up. Quack quack quack, Sean O'Connor. I believe Alita Jackwitz. I think they play for the Ducks as well, with the little duck emoji. So yes, congratulations to the Ducks for improving. Jade Emily, is that Jade Emily? Yeah, Jade Emily. I believe is with the Ducks as well. So yeah, get in the chat. Thank you. Congrats to the Ducks.
We did speak about how the Lightning had played 6 straight at home, and we spoke about maybe it's good that they go out on the road finally and bond together. It could be the same thing with the Sirens, just traveling down to Melbourne, not having, I suppose, the pressure of an A-dub schedule hanging over your head. Play the Ducks, come down here, have some fun, bond together as a group. Those little things could make a difference.
Yeah, and it was interesting chatting with head coach Matt Meyer, who said that, the limited, because I asked him, about the quirk that away teams have won more games than home teams this season. And he said, when you're the away team, you kind of just roll 3 lines, which is what you prefer to do. But, when you've got home games, you want to get as many players in so that, they get the 50% plus 1 for finals eligibility so that you're prepared if things happen. So, I mean, that's interesting. I'd be interested to see if that does help Sydney, where they just kind of, roll a few lines and players are able to get kind of into the groove of a game. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I sort of agree with you. Sirens getting something from the weekend. It's going to be tough, but you never know what could happen in hockey.